Hey there, Capricorn rising signs of the zodiac. Welcome. It's a cosmic girl bringing you your horoscope for the last calendar month of 2025, being December. Trust you're doing well, and thank you for joining me here. So, in this video, I'm going to be focusing in on your chart ruler being Saturn. Saturn is your avatar in this incarnation, if you will, if you are a Capricorn rising sign. And I'm going to get into the chronological astrology for the month of December, see how your year is ending, if you will, through the lens of astrology. Let's get to it. On the 5th, we have a full moon in Gemini. This one is at 13 degrees in your sixth house of work, service, labor, and injuries. Not a particularly fun house. However, a full moon is helpful where we can acknowledge, that something has come to its peak point here for you as a Capricorn rising sign regarding feeling splintered and scattered and spreading yourself too thin on the daily with your routine and your schedules. It may be because of overcommitment regarding friends or your social connections or groups or organizations that you are involved with on the 5th that might be coming to a peak moment of understanding, if you will, intelligently and emotionally that, I need to sort of settle down my nervous system and stop overextending myself. So the 5th of December could be quite the sobering day that allows you to be okay with not being okay in overextension. So you may be ready to cut cords, eliminate commitments with people, places, and things that take you away in regards to uh, basically spreading yourself too thin. Think going that extra distance to be proactive and be involved with others might be coming in hot on the 5th for you to go, I need to pull back a little bit on the 5th of December with a full moon in Gemini at 13 degrees. So being a Capricorn rising sign, we need to focus in on the transit of your chart ruler, which is Saturn. So Saturn for you has been transiting in Pisces for the last couple of years. Briefly visited areas in your natal fourth house of home and family for a couple of months, but Saturn is firmly now in your third house until the 14th of February next year. So with Saturn in Pisces, for the last couple of years, you may have been immersed yourself quite easily into community. Think lots of commuting, traveling, maybe learning or teaching, interactions with siblings, neighbors. Just a busy, busy house is the natal third house. And being Pisces, we can sacrifice ourselves to our detriment. Think again like that full moon on the 5th, only the day before, where it was all like, coming home to roost, if you will. Oh, I need to pull back. I'm giving, giving, giving. I'm extending myself. I'm saying yes to everything. And you may have found it difficult in the last couple of years to establish healthy boundaries when it comes to your community, how you commute, travel, education, teaching, and siblings, neighbors, your daily routines, and your local environment. So Saturn is now winding up that transit. And on the 6th, we are having a grand water trine. These have been happening in succession. So, grand water trines in and themselves are harmonious aspects. So, we've got your natal 11th house, 7th house, and 3rd house where your chart ruler Saturn is, all connecting in a grand water trine. These are social houses. So, with a grand water trine connecting in your social houses on the 6th, then you're immersing yourself in your intuition, your feelings, your emotions about your social settings. How are they making your body respond in kind? How are you coping with your overscheduled diary, your commitments, the events, and the people that you knock shoulders with? How are you coping with that? And on the 6th, you may really be getting some quite intuitive hits about how you can Slowly and discreetly pull back if you need to take some downtime on the 6th, with a grand water trine from your 11th, 7th, and 3rd houses, these very social houses, Capricorn rising sign. On the 8th, we have what is traditionally known as a malefic square. Mars and Saturn are having a butting of heads. Fascinating aspect on the 8th of December. So Mars is in a superior square. So we've got Mars really putting the heat on you, because Mars is directly squaring your chart ruler Saturn in the 3rd house. So Mars and Sagittarius, Mars is focusing in on travel and excitement and adventure. Mars is seeking knowledge and education. Mars wants to expand into philosophy, religion, and likes to really get fired up about his beliefs, his moral and ethical compass, and his values. And when he is on the 8th of December, squaring off with a superior square to your chart ruler Saturn in the 3rd house, and this can be quite challenging in as much as being coerced or feeling a pressure to conform, hear a difference of opinion that you may find challenging. So the 8th of December can be one of those days when you feel like you're getting exacerbated, you're getting pushed, you're getting nudged, you're getting almost like a lot of information that sort of feels like it's coming out of nowhere, and it may take you for a surprise. So on the 8th of December, you're on astrological weather notice that there could be some out of the blue shocking discrepancies and conflicts. On the 11th, we have our modern outer planet Neptune stationing direct in Pisces at 29 degrees. Your chart ruler Saturn is also in Pisces. So with Neptune direct in Pisces, in your natal 3rd house, you get to see things for how they are when it comes to your immediate environment, siblings, travel, education, and how you communicate becomes more organic, because there's been some sort of process here of elimination regarding uh, confusion, idealism. So something's coming in now from the 11th of December moving forward regarding clarity connected to your natal 3rd house that helps you when it comes to what you immerse yourself in that's close to home and your backyard. Mercury on the same day, on the 11th, ingresses back into Sagittarius, your 12th house, until the 1st of January 2026. So Mercury in Sagittarius in the 12th house with Mars, with the Sun, at least until the 21st of this month, and Venus, your natal 12th house has what we call a stellium going on. So with your natal 12th house being really focused for the Capricorn rising signs, this is like a traffic jam, if you will. All these planets are all jammed up in the 12th house. And that 12th house is the house of solitude. It's the house of where we retreat. It's the house of loss, where we lose ourselves, like our compass isn't working. We feel like we're being blown around. And it's the house connected to hidden enemies. And you've got a traffic jam in that natal 12th house. And what's fascinating about this with Mercury now in Sagittarius, sort of amping things up, because Mercury is in detriment in Sagittarius. Mercury overcompensates. Mercury is the trickster, and Mercury can really stir things up regarding that natal 12th house. So think overextension with travel plans, overextension with money expenditure, overthinking, and going that extra mile that we know is at our detriment. So with Mercury and Sagittarius in the 12th house, we could be basically taking too much time regarding solitude. We could be really aware that we're losing ourselves with travel plans or finances. So not particularly easy with Mercury and Sagittarius from the 11th of December to the 1st of January. But that stellium in your natal 12th house, astrologically and archetypally, signifies for the Capricorn rising signs you're going through a process of elimination regarding distracting events, people, and things that keep you very contained. So you're trying to burst out of restriction with all this traffic jam of planets in your natal 12th house. So whilst that traffic jam is playing out in your natal 12th house, all of those planets will be moving into your natal first house. So there's a lot of change coming up for Capricorn rising signs, and it all begins in December. Because the natal first house is you, your body, your health, your identity, your image, and what you want to start and initiate. It's how people see you as well. And so there's a lot of upping the ante and leveling up here with all these planets moving from the 12th into the 1st. And it all begins on the 15th of December. The first planet to arrive in your natal first house is Mars. Now, Mars in Capricorn is what we call exalted. So Mars is strong-willed. Mars is all about, you want to fight? Let's fight. Mars is determined. Mars will go that extra mile. Mars will get what he wants in Capricorn really easily. And in the natal first house of self, body, health, your identity, and what you want to begin, this is like a fire being lit under your feet, if you will. And so it won't be too hard for people to see that from the 15th of December moving forward, that Capricorn rising signs mean business. Mars is all about strategy and eliminating the distractions by cutting things away. Think surgeries, distraction, obstacles. Mars will just blast through anything that stops him from reaching his destination. Believe me when I say, through the lens of astrology and the archetypal meaning of an exalted Mars in Capricorn in the first house, Capricorn rising signs are going to be a force to be reckoned with when it comes to confrontation or challenge. So whilst that can be very good, we want to be standing on our soapbox with clarity, integrity, and not being forceful and domineering with this transit. There is a way to deliver or action your desires without cutting your nose off to spite your face and losing others whilst you are executing your well-laid plans. So whilst Mars is very good in your natal first house, it just turns the dial from 2 to 11. So you will feel Mars. It's not subtle. There will be an amplification of energy, will, and drive when Mars gets into the natal first house of Capricorn from the 15th of December till the 23rd of January 2026. On the 20th, we have our second lunation of December, and it is a new moon in Sagittarius in your 12th house at 28 degrees. Wonderful. New moon in Sagittarius is always exciting. I think adventure, think exploration, think new ideas, concepts, think immersing yourself in developing new knowledge and information that is contained, that is just for the self, kind of new moon on the 20th. So think I'm taking pilgrimage. I'm going off into the sunset. I'm taking 5. I'm taking a beat. I need to rejuvenate. I need to connect more organically to this thing I call life. And that means I've got to throw myself into it with a full moon, with a new moon, in Sagittarius in the 12th house, which means you're going there. you're more than prepared to roll your sleeves up and start digging into crevices and things that are hard to navigate, like things that you do in solitude, the loss of agency, where you feel scattered, where you feel isolated. You're sort of coming into a new understanding, if you will, with the new moon in Sagittarius to lighten up a little more and start enjoying inspiration and optimism about life. So it's like the light's been flicked on the 20th, and with Mars ingressing into the natal first house, it's sort of on point to move you into new horizons and experiences. And the new moon on the 20th can really set the stage for something quite potent for you in the next 6 months, being in your 12th house at 28 degrees. Oh, I just love astrology and I love a solstice. On the 21st, we are having the solstice. So it is the midwinter in the northern hemisphere, midsummer in the southern hemisphere. Solstice, that word means soul, sun, stis, still. So the sun is still. And this is philosophically poetic from my astrological perspective. When the sun is still, and on the 21st, it ingresses into your natal first house of self in Capricorn, where the sun will be for 4 weeks. On the 21st, it is as if Capricorn rising signs are taking stock, taking inventory, just really delving into their life direction. So you may be really focused on purpose. What's your primary goal? What do you want? What are you seeking? And on the 21st might be that very quiet day of inner contemplation where you're fueling up and you know, oh, I've got all these tools in my tool belt, but I'm just going to sit with them now. And you might have a very quiet day on the 21st of December. That's very personal and near and dear to you with the solstice point. So the sun will be in your natal first house. Always an uplifting transit when the sun visits our first house, where Mars is currently transiting. So you have the sun for 4 weeks, illuminating the intelligence about your life direction. Where do you want to go? What do you want? What is your peak of success? What is your sense of self? What is your purpose? Who are you? What do you want to do? Is it relax? Is it enjoy the fruits of your labor? All of these questions are up for grabs when the sun is in the natal first house for 4 weeks. With the sun in the first house, it can also factor into a significant father figure in your life being prominent for 4 weeks, or if you yourself are a father or would like to be a father, if you are not yet a parent, this could be on your radar with the sun in the first house for 4 weeks. Quite lovely. But working with planets and transits and listening to astrology ahead of time and knowing when is a great day to chill, just do me, it would be the new moon and the 21st with the solstice when the sun is standing still in your zodiac sign of self. Beautiful astrology. On the 24th, we have Venus now ingress into your first house of Capricorn until the 17th of January 2026. So here they all come, Capricorn rising sign. Here comes all of these planets kicking up all of your inspiration and your life direction, and your sense of self is really coming into focus, especially now with Venus in the first house of Capricorn. So, what is Venus about and what is she seeking when she's in Capricorn? So, this is you. Well, you're after genuine connections. You're after long term commitments. You're like a person sitting down at a restaurant with a prospective partner of any nature, business, intimate, platonic, whatever it is, and you're at dinner and you're firing questions at them. And the reason you would fire questions at them is because, like, have they got the same values as myself? Do they have the staying power? Are they flighty? or are they committed? Are they just into a one night stand sensation, or are they actually interested in going the distance with me? So, with Venus in the first house, Venus blesses the first house with self value. What do you love? What are you attracted to? Well, you're attracted to long term commitments that aren't wishy washy and fair weather. So, any relationships in your life are going to be a primary focus from the 24th of December to the 17th of January, and how you can move forward with them, like shaking hands, signing on the dotted line, putting a ring on it kind of connections is what you're seeking when Venus is in the first house. Venus also in the first house makes you very attractive. And why would you be attractive other than the obvious? You're fabulous. But why are people attracted to you when Venus is in the natal first house? Because there is something about Venus when she's transiting in our first house of self, appearance, and identity and new beginnings that people want to jump on board with, because Capricorn is in it for the long game. You've got the grit, you've got the determination, and people find that very attractive. So think proposals, business propositions, invitations that are going to be less than fair weather. They're going to be invitations to connect and unite that have longevity and stability behind them. Fascinating with Venus in the first house from the 24th of December to the 17th of January 2026. That's your astrology for the last calendar month of 2025, being December. So, how is your year ending, Capricorn rising signs? Well, I think the astrology is really hinting quite obviously towards reduction in overextension, overstretching yourself, overcompensating, being challenged to pull back and not be so open and available. And that's not something that I would consider selfish. I think you might be just be winding up some really long cycles and stories that have naturally come to an end. And that's quite good, because chart ruler Saturn on the 14th of February, all the way up until the 12th of April 2028. So for 2 years, chart ruler Saturn will be going into Aries, into the natal fourth house. And that is a really different dynamic for your chart ruler Saturn. And Saturn is officially setting off a whole 30-year cycle when it gets into Aries. So no matter your age, Capricorn rising signs listening out there, with Saturn in the fourth house, it's the part of the natal chart that is what we call subterranean. It's private, it's not a public place. And it's our home life, it's family, and it's parents. So, knowing this ahead of time, that your chart ruler Saturn is going into focusing on home and family, focusing on parents, parenting, you're just focus on control, building something regarding foundational systems within family, your home, real estate and property, and parents. This gives you an opportunity from December up until the 14th of February to tie up loose ends with a nice red bow. Because the Sun chart ruler Saturn re-enters Aries on the 14th of February, your chart ruler is going into a zodiac sign that is traditionally known as being in its fall. And in simple terms, that means your chart ruler Saturn is like a foreigner in a foreign land. I don't understand my place. I don't understand where home is. I don't understand what my family is. I don't understand my parents. I don't understand how I can be a parent. And it all comes home to roost, if you will, when Saturn is in fall in Aries. And what you'll be navigating with this transit for 2 years is developing a muscle to stand up for yourself within a family dynamic, your home life with real estate, property, and parents. Think, I can't keep running with the crowd. I can't be sold on this is how family and my home life is going to be. So for some Capricorns, what I'm getting with this transit of Saturn being in Aries in full for 2 years, you may be ready to eliminate connections with family members. You may also relocate. Parents may be going through some big transitions themselves, and being your parents, that is going to have a knock-on effect with you. And with that component through the lens of astrological dignity of Saturn being in full, what I'm getting to for the Capricorn rising signs is maybe you are less than enthusiastic when it comes to bending the knee and conforming to almost like a ingrained ancestral behavior that's going on with your family, and you're trying to break free from that or establish new systems and rules with this transit. So it's going to be a lively one. It will certainly give you a muscle for self-determination. Being more of a leader, a way shower when it comes to new systems and structures within family, home, and with parents or yourself as a parent. So really positive transit all in all, but it's not without its nuances and challenges with Saturn in full in Aries in your natal fourth house for 2 years. Okay, I'll leave it there. Trust you have a wonderful 2026. If you're interested in working with your solar return chart, natal chart, progression, secondary progression, a time lord, I can help you nut out any astrological questions that you may have about your own personal experience. Simply contact me at my email that I provide at the end of this video, or on the Cosmic Girl 101 home page on the YouTube platform. Okie dokie. A great big warm hug from your cosmic girl to you, Capricorn rising signs. Thank you for joining me here today, tuning into the wisdom of astrology and planets in transits with your cosmic girl. It's been a wonderful year. I am now in my 3rd year on this channel, and I am very committed to keep on delivering quality astrological information for all rising signs on this channel. Again, if you would like to work one-on-one with your Cosmic Girl, contact me at the email being cosmicgirl101@protonmail.com. Till next year, 2026, Capricorn rising signs, you stay cosmic.